This is the new BMW X3, and with this SUV now BMW is trying to get a larger share of the mid-size luxury SUV segment. Now a lot about this vehicle is all new, right from the design to the tech to the features it gets and also the way it drives. And over the next few minutes I'm going to tell you what's good about this SUV, what's not, and most importantly, is it good enough to get a larger share of buyers in a segment that has been dominated for a long time by the Mercedes-Benz GLC. And let's start off with the natural obvious, the design first. Now when you look at the new X3, instantly you can make out that it's very different from its predecessor. And is that good or bad? Well, I personally think it's good. I quite like the way this new X3 looks. Yes, there are some bits that everyone might not like, but at the end of the day, I think it's a much cleaner design. What I really like about the fact is that it's not a busy design. It doesn't have too many creases and curves. It's very clean. Also, when you look at the grille, unlike these 7 or the i7, it's not that massive gaping grille. Yes, it is still a large grille, but yes, it's much calmer, or you can say much more sedate design than what we have seen in some other BMWs. So that's a good thing. Even when you look at the side, you'll see it's very clean. And then of course, the one part that I like the most about the design of this new X3 is the rear. Those tail lamps look really sharp, especially in the dark. And then again, when you look at the car overall from a design perspective, I think it just looks like a large SUV. And in fact, it is the largest SUV in its segment. So it is the tallest, it is the widest, and it is also the longest in its segment. So yes, it feels big and it looks big, which is, I think, something that Indian buyers especially like a lot. And on top of that, it looks good to me. And the other good thing I want to point out is that when you look at those nice looking alloy wheels, well, it's not just about the design. They now come with tubeless tires, not run flats. So overall, it just adds to the practicality. And moving to the cabin of the new X3, well, once you step inside, you get to see a completely different layout from the older version. So it's completely new. And what will, of course, catch your attention is this dashboard. The texture, the material is very different from the usual leather that we are habitual of seeing on luxury vehicles. And I think this recycled polyester looks pretty nice. It's also good to touch and feel. But one possible downside of this good looking material is that while it does look sustainable, it will attract a lot of dust. And especially if you're in cities like Delhi, Bombay, well, there's a lot of dust around. So when dust accumulates inside these weaves, I'm not sure how this material will age in terms of look. So maintaining this could be quite a task. But beyond that, it's again the usual BMW interior. You get this large connected screen here, and it combines your instrument cluster and the touch screen. And like all BMWs, very good in terms of display, the kind of colors they've used. So it looks very lively. The touch response is very slick. It is, again, it gives you a lot of connected features that you can access using a smartphone. You can also use Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. So everything that you need, it's got it. The downside about this screen is that, like some other BMWs, which I've spoken about earlier as well, is that you just need to fiddle around with this screen a lot more than one should. So for a lot of functions, you need to go to the screen and then do it. So even for something as simple as changing the driving modes. Now, there is a button here to change the driving modes, but to change them, actually, you click on them and then either you use the touchscreen or use the rotary controller, which means you have to take your eyes off the road and focus on the screen. And same is the story with a lot of other functions. Yes, you can basically pin some of the most used functions, but that again has a limited effect. Overall, I think it's an excessive use of touchscreen, and that's something that I personally am not a fan of. If you're used to using touchscreens, then I don't think you should have any problem at all. The seats, brilliant in terms of cushioning, comfort, and side support. It's very nice. Also, this massive panoramic sunroof, largest in the segment. And even if you talk about the back seat, in terms of overall space, it is better than the older X3, and you get more space, you get a good amount of knee room, there is a good amount of headroom clearance, so even taller occupants won't have a problem in the back seat. You can also easily slide your feet under the seat, so that gives you a good amount of leg room. Your side support is good. The seat itself offers you good amount of leg support, under thigh support, but there is a limitation. The limitation is that there is a very high center tunnel, and that sort of limits the seat practically to being used for two people. Also, the upright angle of the backrest, I think, could have been slightly more, but beyond that, I think the seat is pretty comfortable. And to complement this much better and spacious cabin, well, you also have a massive boot with a flat floor. And since, like I said earlier, these are not tubeless tires, not run flats, you get a spare wheel which is neatly tucked underneath the flat floor. So yes, those are all facts about the interior. Some things that could have been better, well, of course, the touchscreen like I spoke about, also the plastic quality. Like there are some fancy new things in this cabin. For example, the side air vents. Now you can control the airflow using these slider on the panel. I think it's a pretty cool feature to have, but the plastic used here doesn't go well with the rest of the cabin's high quality, even the lower plastic used in the door panels here. So these are things that sort of stand out. These could have been better in the X3, but I don't think any of these are deal breakers. Beyond that, I think it's a fantastic looking cabin. This ambient lighting is brilliant. You can change the colors, basically changes colors as per the mode. It also changes in terms of when you get an alert or something. So yes, it's brilliant in sort of uplifting the mood of the cabin. Alright, now let's talk about performance. And when it comes to engine options, you get two of them, a petrol and a diesel. And we are driving the diesel one right now. So this develops about 197 horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque. It is equipped with 48 volt mild hybrid tech. So that can also come in handy in form of giving you an additional boost of about 11 horsepower when needed. Of course, it also adds to your overall fuel efficiency and reducing emissions. But how is it to drive? Well, one of the first things you will notice about this vehicle is that once you start driving, it doesn't have the diesel clatter filtering inside the cabin. So it's a very refined engine. Also, the NVH insulation has been done up in a very nice way. And right now I'm driving easily now at about 60 kilometers an hour, and there's no engine sound coming inside the cabin. So it's a very quiet cabin, and that's something that will be liked by buyers in this segment. In terms of driving, I mean, off the line acceleration is good. You do not feel any of the turbo lags. I think that's something that doesn't need to be discussed really these days, because turbo tech has gone up and improved to a level where I do not remember any modern BMW having turbo lag off the line. So yes, I mean, it's got nice get up and go in terms of acceleration. Again, it accelerates in a nice linear way. It's not one of those diesels that goes along till 2000 and suddenly a wave comes in and punches you back in the seat. It's not one of those. It's a quick car. It will get to 100 from a standstill in about 7.5 seconds, and so that's pretty quick for a diesel SUV. And yeah, I mean, it's got plenty of power. You can easily get to expressway speeds. You can even get up to speeds beyond that without any problem at all. The 8-speed automatic transmission works well. It just adds a lot to the drivability. It's a quick shifting gearbox. In case you need more control of the gearbox, you can use these paddle shifters here, but I think the overall general tuning of the gearbox is so good that you rarely will have an occasion where you think that maybe I need paddles to extract more from the gearbox. But it also comes with a boost function. So if you press on the left one for a few seconds, keep it pressed, so you get boost. Basically, you also get into sports mode. So yeah, I mean, It's a quick car to drive, refined in terms of ride quality. It's got an adaptive suspension. So the suspension does a great job of ironing out all the undulations on the road. And when you're going over those potholes or the expansion joints, it just sort of irons them out, and that gives you a nice comfortable ride quality. In terms of handling, well, it's an all-wheel drive vehicle, but the bias is towards the rear, which is a good thing. I mean, it's in BMW, so yes, it drives like a BMW should, and I've already established that it can go quick. And when going fast around corners, there is a bit of a body roll. I mean, for an SUV, and that too, this is not like a hardcore performance SUV. You can't really negate body roll entirely, but it's always under control, and that's what sort of gives you confidence in the car and its abilities. The steering gives you a decent amount of feedback, and the pedals also give you a good amount of feedback. So when you combine all of these things, you get a car which doesn't mind, just going where you point it. It's that direct, and basically you can just have confidence in this vehicle. Even when panic braking from triple digit speeds, it has no issues. It will not veer off its line. Straight line stability is rock solid. It drives like a BMW should. If you get a good set of twisty roads, you can basically just put it into sport mode and have fun with the rear wheel bias that it has in the all-wheel drive system. So yes, it continues to be a fun car to drive. At the end of the day, should you buy the new BMW X3 or not? Well, also we need to find out in the segment where Mercedes-Benz GLC has been on the top for a long time. Is the new X3 good enough to give it a tough fight? Well, the simple answer to that is yes. The X3 has grown immensely in almost every department. It's not just about being bigger, the longer. No, it's a lot more than that. It's better to look at. It's more comfortable. It's more spacious. It gives you more tech. It gives you more features. It gives you more feel good and wow factor, both inside the cabin and also when you look at it from the outside. And it's more practical. Tubeless tires coming in now. So it has improved in every segment. It is also good to drive. It continues to drive like a BMW should. On the highways, actually, you can get upwards of 14-15 kilometers to a liter. Even in the city, you can get up to about 10 kilometers to a liter if you're driving normally. So, I mean, it just has improved so much in every department. Yes, there are bits which I told, like the fiddly touch screen, which just forces you to look into it again and again for a lot of functions. Some of the plastic quality here and there, but I don't think any of these things are deal breakers. So if you are someone looking out for a mid-sized luxury SUV and you want your SUV to have best of the features, to drive in a sporty manner, have a lot of space, have a lot of feel-good factor to it, I think the X3 makes a good case for itself, especially the prices, which you can see at the screen right now. It is at par with its rivals, so you don't even need to pay, a hefty premium to get all of these improvements in the new X3. If you like this video, then please hit that subscribe button, press that little bell icon so that our videos can reach on time to your screens, and do not forget to share it as well.